Three lights are lit, so
Sounds good.
sounds good. Not yet. Now it does. Takes a couple seconds for the music to kick in. I got it nice and loud too, so
Nice.
after the fiasco that Jason and I had with the music 2 weeks ago.
What a fiasco, Larry. Everybody was up in arms.
Yeah. We're lucky we still have a show. Hi, and welcome once again to Seattle's #1 comic book podcast, the podcast that is dedicated to the first 4 issues of your next favorite comic. That's a funny joke I was trying to make. I'm Larry.
I'm James.
And
Great joke, Larry. We're doing 4 issues today because it's the Fantastic Four.
It's the Fantastic Four. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the 66th episode.
Should have done the Fantastic Six.
Is there a Fantastic Six? It's probably a Western called the Fantastic Six.
You would know better than I. Magnificent Seven.
Yeah.
There's the
Dirty Dozen.
uh,
The good, the bad, and the ugly. That's 3.
Oh man, we're digressing here, Larry.
All right. So
I believe we. What day is today, Larry?
we are due for a art walk.
Oh, good to hear.
We have been
It's a Thursday.
skipping the art walks for a couple months, and I got a good one tonight. I want to
Oh,
go.
good.
I want
So
to.
should we give a refresher for our new listeners who don't know what the art walk is?
Oh no, I got way too many musics going.
The art walk is where we focus in on a single artist, who not necessarily a comic they're attached to, but just art-centered, art-focused. Pull out someone who, maybe even they don't have a great series attached to them, but they've done a lot of patchwork throughout better series. I'm rambling here, Larry.
No, that's a good way to describe it, because the person I want to talk about tonight, I met several times, and he's the nicest guy in the world. His name is Jim Terry. He is from Chicago, and I want to direct everybody to our website, sn1cbp.com, where you can get a link to his website, which is, he's got the best title ever, Wounded But Dangerous.
That's pretty good.
And when you look at his webpage,
that's really good, actually,
and his gallery, Jim has worked on several books. He's I know him for a book called Sundowners, but I can't. And he's also worked on Vampirella, and what else has he done? Vampirella.
Any superheroes?
No, and not a whole heck of a lot of superhero work, but he's done the Alice Cooper book. And
Alice Cooper book. Wow.
Yeah. So I can't.
That's funky.
I can't really press people. If you want to look at some really great, solid pencil art, Jim Terry. Ow! My ears just exploded with a Google update. All right, Jim Terry is the guy. He does it all: monster, space, westerns, superheroes. He does do superheroes. He drew me the most fantastic 80s Wolverine on one of my jam pieces a couple years ago. It is awesome. It's gritty Wolverine.
That's the way Wolverine should be.
In the brown suit with just, he looks great. And you can tell he's just a small headshot, but you can tell that Wolverine is a stocky dude. But I'm looking at his art right now, and like I said, he is a super nice guy, and he is at all of the cons, and he is just the best guy and such a fast, clean worker. He will do your jam piece in like 10 minutes, and you'll be super happy you talk to him. He's super friendly.
That's awesome. So do you have like a favorite? You kind of listed off a few things that he's done. Do you have like a favorite work of his?
Well, now that I'm looking at his Western work, I have to figure out where he's put this Western. Like a lot of his great, like just cowboys on horses, and horses aren't easy to draw, and like he's got this great one with the dead guy looking down, and like just like the classic like pistol in his hand flopping to the side. It's just great. So
was Jonah Hex the series where they had a bunch of different artists do? Is that right?
Yeah, but Jim
didn't do a Jonah Hex.
He didn't do a Jonah Hex, but I'm definitely going to talk to him about doing a Jonah Hex next year when I see him. But I feel that Jim gets a short. I don't think he has the strongest inkers or colorist.
Oh, interesting.
A lot of his books that I see, his art gets a little washed out with the color. And I'm thinking about Sundowners in particular because Sundowners was a pretty good story. It was average people who think they're superheroes, but you kind of like get a little lost in their stories. Like, am I a superhero? Am I not a superhero? And I just remember like the art just getting a little away from the colorist. Like they muddied up his clean work.
That's
so
such a shame.
Go
stick with black and white.
Yeah, his black and white. His pencils are amazing. So Jim Terry, check him out.
All right. Can do, Larry.
Go to our
Jim
website.
Terry.
Oh, I turned the music down. There we go. All right, let's jump into the Fantastic Four. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I declare a thumb war.
Written.
Did they ever say that?
Oh, how fun would that be? Fantastic. Well, Reed Richard would win because he's got crazy thumbs, but Ben Grimm's got crazy muscles. All right.
Well, I don't know. You wouldn't be able to see the invisible thumb.
Oh, yeah. She'd trick you. But you catch your fingers on fire. Never mind.
Oh, my
We're
goodness.
going down a slippery
Everyone
slope.
would lose.
Written by Grant Morrison and art by Manuel Gutierrez and Jay Lee. Last one's easier to say. Published.
Yeah, make it easy.
Published by Marvel, and I did not write when this came out. 2000
I think it was
something.
2012.
2012. All right, I'm going to get to the page. So, like I said, like James and I were alluding, we are. This is 4 issues, all free on Comixology.
Yeah, that's a big part of why we did it.
Comixology Unlimited, pairing up with Marvel Unlimited, so we get the 1-2 punch.
We get
of that.
everything. We get everything you ever wanted.
And but
Larry's dreams came true that day.
yes, we don't want to spoil too much of this. We're going to give broad strokes, but even in the broad strokes, I think that this is really modeled perfectly for a big budget movie. Would you say that's true, James?
Yes. It does seem like one of the things I like about Fantastic Four is each of the 4 characters could carry their own independent story and storyline, and I think that's huge for a movie where it's like, oh, we want more than one superhero in this thing.
Right.
It's not just a Spider-Man. We want, like, did you hear the announcement? There's like the new Avengers. I feel like Avengers is more like the direction that this is trying to go.
I see. I see that characters and big. It's all big and big villains.
That is the word I was looking for.
And big villains too. But I originally thought, whilst we were getting into this, I originally thought that this was going to be a straight up origin story, but it's not.
Oh.
And
no, it isn't.
It's not. And I was thankful I didn't need it because I've seen the movies and I kind of have a little bit of history with the Fantastic Four. But on the first page, every comic is somebody's first. And on the first page, they tell you everything you need to know about almost all of the characters in here. Reed Richards, Sue Richards, Benjamin Grimm, and Johnny Storm all have fantastic powers because they flew into a cosmic radiation.
Yeah, which is they have kind of a nice short backstory that you can. It's like, all right, they got some weird radiation thing. Now they're all monsters.
Yeah, now they all have monster crazy power.
And even beyond that, it was like made reference to a few times throughout the comic. And even just like it didn't like the other parts where it's like their relationships beforehand were somewhat revealed throughout the story.
Yeah, they sort of slid.
They weren't just like 4 random astronauts or something like that.
Yeah, they sort of slid the Sue's relationship with Namor. They had a romantic relationship before she and Reed Richards became romantical. And Johnny Storm has, like a kind of a relationship with, is it Reed Richards' sister? Who is
Yeah, so that was actually one of the things I was going to ask you about. Who's the other lady who's not
I don't know.
Invisible?
I don't know. But she knows.
Oh, you don't know?
I didn't know who she was. I think she's Reed Richards' sister.
It seems like she has some kind of power of like she's working with like these stones.
Oh,
does anyone out there in comic book land know?
Yeah, her name is Alicia. Is that right?
Her name's Alicia, yeah. And in our Invisible Lady plot, she goes and visits her as kind of like I don't know what to do. My husband, he's always like, he's kept to himself. He's just thinking in his closet, because Mr. Fantastic, he can plug himself into like some kind of supercomputer thing and just like think / meditate on the universe. And she's feeling uncared for.
Yeah.
So she goes to this lady who I thought she was like some well-known important character, but maybe just in this series.
She might be. Like I said, I don't know who Alicia is, but she turns out to be pretty cool too. But yeah, so James sort of gave that setup. Reed Richards is gone into his lab. He is definitely plugged in, and he's definitely checked out of the outside world, and that has sent the 3 remaining members of the Fantastic Four into a boredom. And I thought this was kind of a cool way to do this with the city, the heat, the boredom of the town. Johnny.
Yeah, it's like the calm before the storm.
Yeah,
we know it's not just going to be a boring, nothing happens for all the comics. But it kind of allows us to see our characters without action. And like, I really like how it was like their weaknesses came up when they didn't have like something to fight against and like unify them. That's where the bickering begins, is when you have nothing else to do. So I thought that was really cool and really smart. Because especially with, I only remember, like, I'm just going to keep calling the Thing and the Invisible Lady and Torch and Stretchy Guy. I'm so bad with names. But when Torch and Thing were fighting, and then they were like, oh, the Thing, he just looks for something to smash, even when there isn't anything. And I was like, oh, that makes sense,
Yeah, so it's a character development almost just within, like, a few sentences, and the Thing ultimately find something to smash, but it's in another universe, and that is where Grant Morrison shines. He'll just send you to these other universes, and you just go with it. And Doctor Doom has invited Thing, Ben Grimm, to this other universe for a punch up.
Where he can stay human instead of being a monster.
But in this other universe, being a human isn't that great because you're subject to human maladies.
Yeah, you can lose your arm
in a car wreck, which happens. So too much. That's a broad stroke, but yeah. So Ben Grimm is having a hard time being human,
and so
go on.
And he's in this weird reality, and like, for me, a lot of times, like multiple